All right, everyone, we have another one of Biden's children, one of his chosen offspring, acting out a little bit on a New York City subway. Let's read a little bit of this news article verbatim. Guatemalan migrant arrested for setting sleeping New York City subway rider on fire and watching her burn to death, according to the cops. The savage killing, which happened about 7:30 a.m. on an idling F train at the Coney Island Stillwell Avenue station, shocked commuters, MTA workers, and New York's PD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Jessica, who said Sunday that the heinous crime took the life of an innocent New Yorker. Apparently, a Guatemalan immigrant, who may or may not have been illegal, just randomly set somebody on fire, then just sat there and watched it. Then was allowed to retreat by cops because they didn't know who the perp was, so everyone was let off the train. And it kind of makes sense, I suppose. You know, you don't want anyone to asphyxiate on the smoke, but he managed to be at large for about 8 hours before he was finally detained. As the train pulled into the station, the suspect calmly walked up to the victim, who was in a seated position at the end of the subway car, and used what we believe to be a lighter to ignite the victim's clothing, which became fully engulfed in a matter of seconds, Tisch said at a press conference. By the way, how many seconds are we talking about? Because the suspect might have been drenched in some sort of flammable liquid prior, if they were fully engulfed in only like 2 or 3 seconds. Just saying. Patrolling cops smelled and saw the smoke, then followed it to the flame-covered woman, the commissioner said. They extinguished the blaze, but the victim died at the scene. Officials said the 33-year-old suspect came to the U.S. in 2018 from Guatemala. He was detained by Border Patrol agents in Arizona in June of that year, sources said. His legal status wasn't immediately clear Sunday night. Technically speaking, this is a Trump-era entry, but there's been no attempt at actual deportation, and that's the big problem. It looks like his record was clean, though. The thing is, somebody comes in illegally to the country. The Trump administration is trying to clean up the border, but they're unable to do so. There are still people coming in illegally because, you know, the Republicans don't want to actually guard the border at all. Then they come in. Under the Biden administration, there's literally no effort to even document them, and then this sort of shit happens. This has unfortunately happened a number of times. It's not that I have a problem with people who are Latino or Latina. Actually, I have a fondness for Latinas myself. But you do have to have legal entry, just saying. You have to have an actual border. Unfortunately, right now, we don't really have one. I think that under Trump, things will get better, but they're not going to be perfect. Unfortunately, it's going to be like getting blood from a turnip, trying to get the congressional Republicans to even fund any more border wall. The rest of it that's being retained by Texas, that'll go up. He'll probably be able to use discretionary spending to get some more done, but it's not going to be complete. Unfortunately, it'll take more than 4 years to actually complete it, and of course, Trump only has one more 4-year term. So we're going to wait and see what happens. This is Biden's problem, though. There has been no effort to look into the people who were already in the country, in some cases illegally, and try to deport people that could be problematic. Like, somebody comes to the country, they're 10 years old or something like that, and they're minding their own business, just going to school and stuff like that. That's fine. That's all right. Okay, you're illegally in the country, but you're not really a priority for deportation. But then there's this other dude who's part of a Venezuelan cartel, or a Colombian cartel, selling coke and stuff like that. That should be the priority. This person is clearly mentally ill, or a criminal of some sort or another. Unfortunately, here's the problem. There's too little data sharing between the United States and certain foreign countries where a lot of the illegals are coming from. As a result of this, we don't always know their criminal record. So somebody might stay clean for years in the United States. They're not selling drugs, they're not doing anything wrong. Oh shit, but they committed a triple homicide back in Montezuma or something like that. And we don't always know exactly who those people are, which is why we need to clean house. Some people have begun to self-deport because of the incoming Trump administration. I fail to see the problem, by the way, with this. Liberals do. They think that it's terrible. They just don't want them in their neighborhood. If the illegals are housed in a motel that's within a mile of them, it's a big problem and they shouldn't be there. But if they're 10 miles away, all of a sudden it's completely okay. God, I hate NIMBYs more than anything else in this fucking world, actually. But I think that Trump will probably be generally successful in cleaning up this particular problem. I mean, I don't want to do any grave humor or something like this. This woman died the other day. She was literally burned alive on a fucking subway. This should not be happening. This is third world country bullshit. You never hear about this happening on a subway in Japan. If I go to Tokyo, I'm going to feel totally safe the entire time. It'll be great. Everything will be fine. If I go to New York City, or Boston, or certainly fucking DC or some of these other places, then I'm going to be constantly on guard because people are killing each other randomly on a regular basis. Go to Chicago. In a single weekend, they've had instances where there are over 20 fatal shootings. That's just the fatal ones. This is not even a record for them. This is what used to be considered a model city. Detroit, same thing. It used to be considered a model city. It was the Paris of the West. Now it's, well, I mean, I guess it is like the Paris of the West because Paris is falling apart as well. But, that's beyond the point. These cities are dilapidated. They're falling apart. People are fucking shooting each other all the time, fucking stabbing each other. Something needs to be done about it, and part of it is migrant crime. And a lot of people don't want to address this issue because it's conceived of as racist. I don't give a fuck that this dude is from Guatemala. He could be from Argentina. He could be from Poland. It doesn't matter where he's from. He literally burned a woman alive on the subway train in front of a bunch of other people. The cops didn't even immediately remand him, despite the fact that other people would have known that he was the perp because they literally saw him committing the crime. And this is the dysfunction of the U.S. legal system. It's very, very sad indeed. That's about all. Peace out.